Hey, it's me, Vicki Marie. Now, some news. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this crazy world that we're living in. Now, I've made this video to give you some news about this girl, a case that we've covered a couple of times. I think I've got 2 videos about this case on my channel. This is Lindsay Rimer, who was just a young girl when she disappeared 30 years ago. Disappeared and was missing for quite a long time. She went out to buy a box of cornflakes at her local sort of convenience store and never went home. And the mystery of what happened to her has endured for 30 long years. Now, she was missing for quite a long time until finally, unfortunately, her body was found, weighted down. This happened in Hebden Bridge in the UK, and her body was found. But really, since then, there's not really been any other developments or nothing of consequence. Anyway, I suppose we've got to say the good news, hopefully it will come to something, is that literally just today, the news is coming out that a prisoner, somebody who's already in prison, is being questioned over her 1994 murder. Now, he's only being questioned, so we've got to not get ahead of ourselves. I mean, this is... I don't know how her family must feel. I hope this is going to lead to justice for Lindsay, for them. I hope that something will come of this, but we don't know. But anyway, the news coming out today is that a prisoner has been arrested on the suspicion of murder of Lindsay, who is literally 13 years old. And she was found dead months after she went missing from her home in 1994. She left her home in Hebden Bridge near Halifax in the UK on the 7th of November that year to buy cornflakes from a nearby shop, but she never returned. And in April 1995, her body was found in the Rochdale Canal, about a mile from the town, weighted down with a stone. Now, that's quite an unusual thing to do, to weigh somebody down with a stone. Sort of suggests that, well, obviously you don't want them to be found, or certainly not quickly. Anyway, West Yorkshire Police have said a man was arrested on Monday at an unnamed UK prison where he was serving a sentence for other offences. So we don't have any other details. We don't know what other offences he's serving a sentence for. Is it somebody who's already in prison for red rum or, similar offences against girls? Anyway, a police spokesperson said officers were keeping Lindsay's family updated, adding that the arrest was as a result of our continued focus on progressing the investigation. The arrested man would be interviewed by police on Monday and Tuesday and was expected to be bailed and returned to prison while inquiries continued, the spokesperson said. Meanwhile, officers were approaching a number of specific potential witnesses, mainly in the Hebden Bridge and wider Halifax area, who had been identified by the investigation. And West Yorkshire Police confirmed that Monday's arrest was the first in the investigation into Lindsay's murder since 2017. Now, this is one of those cases that one thing we do know is Lindsay was murdered, probably that same night that she went out to buy cornflakes. As you can see, she's out quite late. It's 20 past 10. In fact, it's nearly 11 o'clock, isn't it? According to the date stamp on that CCTV. 1994, so you may wonder why a 13-year-old was out at that time, but of course it was a different era to what we're living in now. She apparently called in, didn't she, to a pub where her mum was, and then apparently went home. And I'm pretty certain she was said to have arrived home, wasn't she? Anyway, we don't know what happened to Lindsay. All we know is that poor Lindsay was murdered. This family have had to live with it for 30 years, not knowing what's happened to this girl. Are they about to get answers? So on the night Lindsay went missing in November 1994, she had left her home in Cambridge Street at around 10 o'clock before calling in to see her mother at the Trades Club, a members club and music venue in Hebden Bridge. She was captured on CCTV 20 minutes later as she bought cornflakes from the Spar shop on Crown Street. The last confirmed sighting of Lindsay was not long after this, as she was seen leaning against a wall near the Memorial Garden, and her body was found by 2 canal workers the following spring. The search for the schoolgirl was one of the largest carried out by West Yorkshire Police. Her family has described not knowing what happened to her as like living a life sentence. How awful. Anyway, this is Detective Chief Inspector James Entwistle, who said police remain committed to the investigation into Lindsay's murder. And confirming the new arrest, Detective Chief Inspector James Entwistle said we remain very firmly committed to doing everything we can to get justice for Lindsay and to give her family the answers they still so desperately need after all these years. While we appreciate the understandable public interest that today's interest will bring, we do not anticipate any immediate developments at this stage. That's a shame. And he added, although it is now more than 30 years since Lindsay was murdered, we remain convinced there is someone out there who has vital information that could finally help to ease her family's pain. We urge them to do the right thing and tell us what we know. Anyone with information was asked to contact West Yorkshire Police. So it's a massive development, but having said that, they're saying it shouldn't make any difference, immediate difference. So who knows what's going on there, but it's got to be a positive. It's positive in several ways, obviously, because it, we hope that it leads to closure for this family to find out, to get justice for their loved one, who won't bring her back. She's been dead for 30 years. It took 5 months for her to be found. So, it's not going to solve any of that, but if it brings some closure, closure's not the right word, is it? Resolution, just some justice. This is, at the end of the day, a 13-year-old girl was murdered by somebody, and that person has had 30 years of life to live, whereas Lindsay has not had any life to live since her life was brutally taken from her. So the fact that he's in prison, does it mean that he is already, we don't know who it is, we don't know what they're in prison for, we don't know any of the details, but it just makes you wonder, what are they in prison for? Is it somebody who has killed other girls? So frustrating, because it's good news in one way, of course, but it's frustrating because we don't know what's behind it. The police inspector was keen to say they weren't expecting any, immediate sort of answers, that this was something that was a developing story, if you like. We've got 2 days to question this person. They've been arrested on suspicion of murder. They're already in prison. Will any further charges follow? Anyway, I wanted to tell you about it because we have covered Lindsay's case. As I say, I'm going to try and link underneath. I'm going to try to remember to link underneath the videos that I've done about Lindsay Rimer. Bless her soul. And let's hope, especially for her family's sake, and they've been very enduring in their campaigns to find Lindsay's murderer. I hope that they get the answers they deserve. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll see you really soon in the next video, and until then, may your God go with you. Bye.